Hi, my name is Ana Nieves. I am in the BSC2010 lab, and today I'll be showing you my experiment on osmosis using gummy bears. So the purpose of this experiment is to understand the process of osmosis and equilibrium. The definition of osmosis is the movement of water molecules from one solution with a higher concentration of water molecules to a solution with a lower concentration of water molecules through a cell's partial permeable membrane. When you put the gummy bear in water, it is a solute, and the water molecules are a solvent. Since the gummy bears do not contain water, since it has gelatin, the water now moves through the gummy bear through the process of osmosis. Osmosis is the diffusion of water molecules from a dilute liquid to a more concentrated solution, as you can see on the image, through, of course, its selective permeable membrane. So here I have some osmosis in real life, like some examples that you could see in your daily life. So the first one being is like, when you take a bath or like you go to the beach and you're there for like a long period of time, and you look at your fingers and they're all like wrinkled up. That's all because of osmosis, because the skin of our fingers absorb the water and they expand, and that's why they get all wrinkly. And in the second example, I have some red blood cells, and the first one is hypertonic, and that's I have an example which Dr. Obeso taught us in class, but you usually see those blood cells in dehydrated people. So in class, he gave us an example on how the Cuban barceros, or like the people who come from Cuba to the United States in a boat, and they're very dehydrated because they're on boats for like a week without no water. All they have around them is salt water. Their blood cells are all shriveled up, shrinked. And in isotonic, this is a normal blood cell. This is a blood cell with equilibrium. And then for the third one, hypotonic, this is a cell with too much, and this cell will actually burst, and thus leading to death. So these are the procedures for making the experiment. First, you have to make a prediction. If you think that the salt water gummies will be larger than the regular tap water gummies, or if the vinegar one will be smaller than the saltwater one, whatever your prediction is, or your hypothesis, then you could gather your supplies. I use the Welch's gummy bears. One tip is that make sure that it has gelatin, because gelatin is the component of this experiment. Then you could use water. There is more experiments using like sprinkled water. There's also like distilled water or like tap water. So if you want to go into deeper, you could do that. Also salts. I used the sea salts. I used also white vinegar, alcohol, and I used 4 glass cups. You have to make sure that they're glass or like see-through. Not really glass, but like anything that you could see through, so you could able to see the experiment going. And then I placed 1 gummy bear into each cup. I used the same gummy bear so I could see like the difference. And then I added the regular tap water. It was room temperature into 1 cup and another cup, and then I added into the second cup salt. And then for the third cup I added vinegar, and for the fourth one I added alcohol. And make sure that you add enough to cover the whole gummy bear, so the gummy bear could absorb the liquid. Step number 5 is to leave the experiment for a minimum of 30 minutes to see the results. I did this for 24 hours to see a different, like a more visual result. And lastly, you compare the results with a control gummy bear, so a gummy bear that you did not use in the experiment, to see the difference between each. And the gummy bears have a selectively permeable coating which allow water molecules to diffuse across, but it also inhibits other larger molecules. And also in this osmosis experiment, the water molecule will move through the bear. That's why you will see that in the results that the gummy bears are larger. So today I'll be doing an osmosis experiment. So the first thing that I did, I added some water to the salt water cup and the regular water. I used room temperature tap water, and then I added some salts. To be specifically, I added some sea salt to the salt water. Then I added some white vinegar to the white vinegar cup. And finally, I added some alcohol to the last cup. I used the Welch fruit snacks. They do have gelatin. I made a mistake and I previously bought gelatin free. These are my findings after 24 hours. The white vinegar, regular water, and salt water gummy bears were very slimy. These are my results. The gummy bear on the left is the control gummy bear, and the other gummy bears are the variables. I hope you enjoyed the experiment. Thank you. So these were my results and findings. So the gummy bear on the left is the control gummy bear. The one next to it is the gummy bear that I use for alcohol. The other one is white vinegar, regular water, and salt water. When I picked up the gummy bears and put them on the paper towel, they were all slimy to the touch except the alcohol one. And I was actually surprised with my results. I did not expect for the alcohol to look very similar to the control one. And of course the regular water had the most increase in mass. Thank you for listening to my video. Have a great day.